Hey, good evening or good morning. Really depends on when you're picking up this new edition of the Monday Market Coin Report. This is for the week ending August 9th, 2020. After a 2-week little break, we are back at it again, and nothing's changed, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. The market continues to show lots of strengths, a lot of huge spiky trends that's following that good old parallel of the precious metals market. Much like we did back in 2009, 2010, the way things are going right now, we are going to see a quite reactive market. And it's going to be more of a case of, monkey see, monkey do. Okay, everybody else is investing in coins and currency, okay, along the same lines that they're also investing probably in some sort of precious metals kind of commodities, whether it's the physical type or the paper or ETFs. So it really does depend on which way you go. But, when the market is strong and it goes up, everything goes up with it. All right, so that's kind of, a tracer to how the economy is doing. Okay, a lot of it has to do with this virus, and as a result, people need to park their money somewhere. Again, investing in coins, currency, silver, and gold, okay, doesn't guarantee you anything extra. Right, the value just continues to increase. There's no dividends, nothing like that, and people are okay with it because these are truly safe haven type of investments. And we have a number of coins that have sold this week. Everything, by the way, is coming from great collections. Okay, they've done a really fantastic job kind of flowing with the marketplace. If you guys have coins that you want to sell and move right now while the market is like iron hot, now might be the time. Okay, if you want to try and avoid eBay like the plague, it certainly has its detractors. Then great collections is a great option B. It might even become an option A sometime. But to kind of preface my last video, I really didn't talk too much about it, but at the time there were a few upcoming smaller auctions. Heritage Auctions hosted a signature sale for only currency. All right, so that occurred this past week. Stax Bowers even did a small little show as well. The bigger shows come next month, okay, and nothing's really changed. There's no big physical show with people in attendance, no dealers, nothing like that because of the virus. All of those bigger events are currently shut down, okay, and it may come back next year. It really depends on how everything goes until then. But in any event, a really, really busy week. And to kind of cap it off, we are still in the midst of summer. Okay, summer isn't usually the season where you see just huge spikes in select coins. There are two different denominations for this week that need extra special kind of like attention because this is crazy. It's not your traditional older silver coins. Okay, some of those older 1800s, early 1900s silver coins that we depend on are being kind of like the bigger hits. There are other coins at work. Now, with the Monday Market Report, if this is your first time watching, we recap all the big sales of the modern age of coins. Typically, this is going to be from the year 1900 all the way up to the current date. So from the last 120 years is usually what I cover in these videos. It's used as kind of like a barometer for how the market is doing. Okay, if there's not a whole lot of sales or we begin to see some slips in the trends, then obviously the market, is kind of in a depressed state. Okay, these days it's not so much. How far will, kind of the tide rise is anybody's question. I guess it's really for as long as people need to park money somewhere. So that's kind of like a huge indicator of, just how wild the market's been. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the select coinage. I got 18 in all from Great Collections. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, grab yourself a cup of tea or something nice, cup of coffee if it's a Monday morning for you. But anyways, the first coin on the list is one of the probably more reliable coins to purchase if you're looking for a great piece for your collection. Furthermore, this can also be seen as kind of like a secondary investment piece. It's just an overall pretty coin. It's a 1972 double die obverse Lincoln Memorial cent. This is the big one. This is the FS101. All right, so there's about a dozen or so double dies for this date. This is a very, very sought after coin, and not only this particular variety, but people want to buy full BU rolls of this, and they continuously hit that upward trajectory all on its own. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 full red. That's sold for $2,362.50. 67 red of this in this coin is not the highest grade, but you begin to see kind of like the second tier, kind of like one less grade under the top grade. These coins are beginning to see plenty of action because those higher echelon coins, the ones that are worth $10,000 and up, are just not seen in the marketplace. People are holding on to those because we are in an investment type mentality right now. This is one of those coins. This used to be a coin in 67 red that used to fall under $2,000 at one point, and now here we are back over that amount of money. Again, just another go-to coin for a lot of investors, collectors alike. All right, so the next one that we have here is kind of be on the low end of the spectrum. It's a 1963D. Sorry about the rotation job. That's just the way it sits in the holder. This one right here is a PCGS graded Mint State 65 red. Nothing special as far as the grade is concerned, but this is also the DDO, double die obverse FS101, which the main diagnostic on this coin is going to be the underlying 3 that you can see here. Now this is probably more of a mid die state because you can only see this inner kind of like point of the second 3. On the earlier die states, you could actually see a bottom tail of the 3 pop up right here. But this is a really cool coin for those of you that are kind of wondering how much a mid-range type coin like this of this variety sells for. This one sold for $359.44. This one has gone up tremendously in spite of the fact that this is a very easy to find variety. I have probably 2.5 rolls of 63D DDOs that I've accumulated over the last 20 years. They are very plentiful in all grades, so keep that in mind. Money to be made here, even for the mid-range type coins. All right, so we have a number of Philadelphia 1950s Lincoln wheat cents. These have always been kind of like the staple within the Lincoln cent registry set program on PCGS or NGC's website. They are just incredibly tough to find because the quality just wasn't there from the mint. All right, so finding one that grades out at, say, a Mint State 67 like this one here, again, is one of the toughest things that you could possibly ever participate in. Usually Denver's and San Francisco's strike up a whole lot better, and it's really easier to find those coins in 67. Now this one right here sold for $1,033.98. This is an obvious purchase strictly for a registry set. And same goes with the 5054. Now this one is a tougher date. It is an NGC graded coin, however, so it's in a different type of holder. This one is also a Mint State 67 red. But what I like most about this coin is you can see all of the, I guess like the die file lines that run left to right. Not only the obverse, but the reverse as well. You know, it kind of gives you an idea of the type of work the Mint employee was doing to possibly cover up some die clashing, things of that nature. You know, it's just, this is a tough coin, ladies and gentlemen, to find at a 67. Now, the reason why it's an NGC holder, just to kind of like throw out a wild guess, this was probably submitted to PCGS. Probably couldn't break past the 66. Figured, hey, why not? Let's try NGC. Sure enough, they gave it a little bit of a bump here at 67. And it makes all the difference in the world. This one sold for $3,704.62, whereas a 66 probably would have trouble clawing $100. So it's a huge, huge, huge gain in actual value just by simply crossing over to NGC. Now this one kind of stumped me for a second. It's a 53D. Typically with Denver minted coins, they are in much better shape than the Philadelphia coins of the same date. However, this one right here is a normally high grade. It's a mid-state 67 plus full red example. It's even got the little PCGS gold shield on there. But this one right here, you know, at this grade level, it is still a tough one. And because of that, this one did sell for $4,275. As kind of a side note, 53D is just an incredible date to search through for repunch mint marks. There's a lot of them. And there are, you know, a lot of them are really, really nice. Okay, and then there are a few of them that are just, you know, kind of like you're gonna have to look extra hard to find anything there. But this one again kind of stumped me because, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those coins that you know, at one point I felt like probably would have sold for about $1,500, but it's jumped up quite a bit by almost 3 times at this grade level. So obviously this is a registry set coin. It kind of sounds like there was probably some more people joining up into the registry set for Lincoln Cents, and that's why we're seeing quite a bit more activity. Call it kind of like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do during, you know, the stay-at-home orders during this virus thing. So I'm just going to get into, you know, doing a registry set on PCGS, and I think we're seeing some more demand pop up for this kind of direction of coin collecting, which is pretty neat. All right, so back to Philadelphia's. This is another tough one here. It's a 52. I mean, you know, between 50, 51, and 52, they're all incrementally tough to find at this particular grade level. When I saw this hit 67 plus, I'm like, holy smokes, that is a tremendous coin right here. I've seen 67s that have sold for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Okay, but here we have a plus. I mean, you know, the coin probably looks dynamite in hand compared to the photos that you see here. But this one right here, again, always a huge registry set staple. This one did sell for $7,875. All right, so that's pretty incredible right there. 45p. Not exactly the toughest coin to find if you need a high-grade example. However, this is another 67 plus example by PCGS. All right, so again, another important coin for a registry set. Once you get down under 1940, you know, earlier than that, then it becomes really tough to locate, you know, the 67 pluses. We're probably going to see more 66s and 67s. So this is an important driver in the point score. This one right here sold for $1,689.75. All right, it won't be a Monday market report if we don't talk about the steel cent, and we got one of them here this evening. It's a 1943S, so it's a San Francisco minted example. These coins, again, because of the fact that they are a one-shot, are always going to be popular. All right, the grade to get is mid-state 68, which is what this one is. And because of that, they're all incredibly valuable. Okay, people want just like really pristine examples of these coins. This one right here, you know, is sold for $2,616.75. Okay, which seems to be the going rate for some of these premier graded steel cents. Okay, it's just an overall, just a really neat piece that, you know, people want to get because it is a one-year type coin for its composition, and that's what really attracts a lot of buyers, because they want the uniqueness, the appeal of this coin in their collection. So there you go. $2,600 later, we got another happy customer, I guess. And the final penny on the list is this 1940D. Okay, so this one right here, this is kind of like that threshold. Once you cross into the 1930s, it gets really tough. Okay, this one right here, as you can see, graded 67 plus full red, even is a certified CAC coin, so it's backed by them. This is just a marvelous looking example. And this one sold for $1,096.88. Yeah, we talk about 9 Lincoln cents. That's exactly half of the list. Lincoln pennies, all in all, have been kind of like one of the strongest, just kind of like, come from behind victory laps that you'll ever see. Lincoln pennies continues to just pummel the market with just some huge trends and prices and just lots of bidding activity. It's great to see. It's great to see just like the coin market just like being in its current healthy state that it is. And I would venture to guess as we get into the holidays, it's not going to stop. It's going to continue to rise, and more people are going to inject more money into the market for some nice examples. Not only of some of the more modern stuff, but as we go back into like, the teens, 20s, and 30s, yeah, money is going to be just flying all over the place when it comes to this series. It's just that popular. Okay, so our next most important, I suppose, series in U.S. coinage is going to be the Jefferson Nickel. Okay, for a myriad of reasons, varieties. Some people like errors if they could find them. Okay, but most of all, full step searching, finding some of those rare 1940s, 50s, and 60s Jefferson nickels that exhibit a sharp strike on the reverse to upset all 6 steps of Monticello is really tough. And I think that's what people like. They like the thrill of the chase, and they're willing to inject more money into the market to not only buy already established graded coins, but also searching out just like small caches of full rolls of like this 1956D that you see on screen. So this one here is a Mint State 66 plus full stepper. This one right here sold for $3,937.50. Again, we're talking about the crux of this decade that is incredibly tough to find with these sharp strikes. And here's another one here, 1951. This particular date, this is where you begin to see things go downhill. All right, 1950D was quite a bit tough. All right, but not too bad. You're still able to find an affordable 1950D key date with full steps for under $100. But once you get into 1951, all bets are off. This is just an incredibly tough date. So this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 full steps, and it's sold for $6,386.62. That's where you see just kind of like how crazy some of the coins get. The tougher they are, the more expensive they are. Case in point. So here's a really pleasing album toner 1948D. Okay, it's just an overall peach of a coin. Exhibits even some kind of like woody toning on the obverse, which is pretty neat. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 plus full steps with the toning, sold for $2,109.38. And we also have a Philadelphia coin here. This time, no toning, which looks like this coin was probably found in a BU roll, like right smack dab in the middle. It's not a roll ender or anything like that. It is about as blast white and just original as you could, find it. Kind of has that satiny appearance. This one is a PCGS Mint State 66 plus full steps example, and this one sold for $4,362.50. A really nice coin. I like coins that look like this, where you have a really clean Jefferson cheekbone, and jawline. That's very important. Usually you see these all nicked up with all sorts of stuff and they still grade high. This one is a really clean example. And a little wartime silver action. We got a 1945S. This one is pretty nice. Even features a little bit of a RPM in the mint mark. If you look close enough, you'll see it. But this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 plus, full stepper. Silver wartime nickels are generally well struck, and that's why you're going to see some really high grades in this particular series. This one right here is a great example, okay, with a little bit of toning that does exist on the coin. It's sold for $3,248.66. Good looking coin, again, following along the same lineage as the steel set. These silver wartime nickels are always going to have a place in a lot of collectors' hearts because it's a, it's a 3-year type with this silver manganese planchet alloy. Pretty cool. Well, we only have one dime, but I figure we might as well make it count. It's a 1930 Mercury Dime. Not quite rare, not quite as common as some of the 1940s dates. However, this is a really nice high-grade gem. PCGS Mint State 67 full band example. It's always great to see one of these pop up on the auction circuit. This one right here, also CAC certified, sold for $4,540.50. Can't go wrong with this one. It could either be seen as an investment piece or a registry set inclusion. All right, so back in 1964, the U.S. Mint had decided, you know what, we're not going to do any more proof sets. Okay, and that collectively made some of the collector base really upset. They wanted some sort of, collector-only U.S. Mint offering. So what the U.S. Mint did for 1965 to 1967 is they didn't do proof sets, but they did something called SMS, which also stands for a special mint set. Okay, and the coins are pretty much kind of like a mashup of a business strike, which is a normal coin that was made and used for production, and a proof coin, and you kind of mash them up together. So you get kind of like the sharp strike of a proof coin, but you get kind of like the satiny details of a business strike. Now, there are a few kind of like one-off chances where a coin like this can be found with frosty devices like a proof coin and some mirrored fields. Okay, those are few and far between and comprises about less than 1% of the entire run of SMS coins for a 3-year period. But this one right here, PCGS SP68 Plus, no cameo, so it's just a really nice high-grade SMS coin. Sold for $1,181.25. The color on it is also really nice. It's subtle, but it's there. However, the color on this one is not so subtle, and this one is a dime. I love it. Not a dime, but this one is just a peach dime. 1964D Washington quarter that obverse is just illuminating. This is probably a roll ender because that back is extremely clean, so that paper wrapping was really tight on there. But this one right here, PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, just an incredible coin, guys. Sold for $1,800.08. It's just, yeah, high grade toners like this. Even though it's a really common date where over 1 billion were made, is still desirable. All right, and a lot of money spent on this one. And the final coin of the day, believe it or not, is a pedestrian-looking 1961D. It is a PCGS Mint State 67. I think if we were going to compare this coin to the last one, I think the 64D looked a lot better presentation-wise. But this is one of the tougher dates. 61D, 62D, low pops in this particular grade, and therefore worth a lot of money. This one sold for $3,882.38. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to conclude the Monday market report for the week ending August 9th of 2020. It sure was a lot of fun. It's great to be back on that horse after taking a few weeks off. I've had tooth issues for like the last 10 days. And it's kind of prevented me from actually doing any sort of content. I've been having issues and problems with it. but it'll get better. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Would love to hear your thoughts. What you guys think about the market report? What do you guys think about just the overall health of of numismatics and precious metals? As you can see, it's darting upwards. We're almost at $30 silver, so that might happen this week. Kind of hard to say with the way things are progressing right now. People really do believe that silver is going to be one of those kind of safe haven investment pieces while the economy is a little bit shook up. So we'll see. I don't know. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for instant notifications. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I appreciate your guys' support and views. You guys take care. Have a wonderful Monday. Don't work so hard. And I will see you on the next coin video. You guys take care now.